Welcome back, everybody, to Crimson Net Talks. I'm your host, Fangzhou Jiang, sitting down with Brad Latilla-Campbell as we continue our conversation about navigating college admissions as an international student. In our last episode, we talked about the application process, but there's something we still need to address. What should international students think about after they get those acceptance letters? In the past several months, a lot of Crimson students, as well as students around the world, get their offers, which is super exciting. But now a lot of them are wondering, what do I do after this point? So Brad, I'd love to get your take on that.
Sure, FC. Well, the first thing that I had to worry about as an international student after getting that acceptance letter was making sure that I had kind of all of my immigration stuff in order. So making sure that you have a student visa and you have an application into wherever your nearest embassy is in time to receive the visa to go to the States so you can start your semester. And that has a number of different requirements depending on where you're from that you need to make sure that you have a handle on so that you don't end up being disappointed and leaving it too late in the process. There was also the idea of looking at the housing situation at university. I was fortunate. We had on-campus housing where we were put into rooms and given different roommates, but there's a whole new kind of setup to deal with as you go there, as people from different parts of the world and different cultures and different ideas to your own are put into a living situation with you, and you need to make sure that you are willing to and able to kind of deal with living in the space of other people if that's not something you're used to. And if the college that you're going to does not offer on-campus housing for first years, or that's not something that you'll be doing, you need to make sure that you organize housing close enough to the campus that you'll be able to attend classes and anything else that you're planning on doing. That's not necessarily a huge hurdle to you attending the university as well. And you'll be able to get to and from all of your things that you need to do on campus as well.
A lot of the students, I think, or families began to relax after they get their offers, which is what they should do. But I guess we often see another battle really begins, and that's to sort out all of the logistics and make sure that time period between getting the offer and all the way to the first day of matriculation can go as smoothly as possible. You're absolutely right, Brad. Visa and immigration is definitely something that gets a lot of students into a, very complicated situation. Often you need to figure out you need to pay your enrollment deposit. You need to confirm your offer and get a letter, which is often called the I-20 form, to confirm everything is done. And you take that form to apply for your student visa. And a lot of these things may seem pretty straightforward, but it might take you very long to get a visa appointment scheduled. It might take you quite a bit of time to fill out this international student certificate of finance, because you need to gather necessary documents to prove that you're able to pay for the tuition. And sometimes the requirements are pretty stringent. It might require saving, bank certification, etc. All of these little things could take a long time, which makes the process harder to manage. And you've also mentioned housing, which is an interesting piece as well. Different students have different requirements. So I guess those are definitely things to watch out for. But I'd love to understand a little bit more on the academics front. So after you get in, supposedly you kind of tell college, I want to major in economics, or I want to major in science, like math or biology. How do I explore even, what courses are offered, and, how do I choose my first year classes? What kind of credit do I need to get in order to meet my graduation requirements? So how does that academic process look like?
Yeah, that academic process of choosing your first year courses and selecting a major if it's necessary can differ pretty widely from college to college. And most will kind of give you a first year student guide, a freshman year student guide that you can use to find out those things, which may include a directory of courses. Now, I know at Harvard, when I was there, we had something called Shopping Week at the beginning of every semester, where they ran the courses that you could attend, any course that you wanted to, and see what it was like to decide if you wanted to take it. But many other universities will require you to sign up for courses before you arrive on campus. And that's definitely something that you need to establish before you set off on your journeys to the US. Figuring out from that point which ones are important for you to take in your first year and in your first semester is equally important. because you don't want to be missing some credits, which kind of are the currency that you're given for each course that you complete. You don't want to be missing specific credits so early on in your college journey and needing to take extra classes in a future semester to make up for it. You want to make sure you're taking the correct classes at the correct times to give yourself the easiest ride possible in terms of logistics, not necessarily in terms of the classes that you're taking. And that can all be found generally on the college's website. Many colleges will have an office for international students that you can get in touch with to ask those questions to. And like I said, any kind of freshman year or first year guide or handbook can also point you in the right directions there. And then you also got to remember that a lot of these systems, these academic systems in the States, are very, very different to what we're used to, what we might have heard about at home in our home country. So making sure that you are attending lectures as you need to be, if there is a required attendance portion of the course, that you're thinking about extra courses, general education at some of the liberal arts colleges, which require you to take courses outside of your major, or even kind of what the schedule of the tests are throughout the semester. One major shock I got when I arrived at college was the amount of reading that I had to do per course, and needing to budget time to read what was sometimes upwards of 200, 300 pages a week. Not something I was used to at the time, to be able to participate and contribute in classes and in section as I went through my first semester.
Well, definitely a lot for students to watch out after they began to explore these various academic options. I remember when I was on campus at Harvard, just simply figuring out how the shopping week works, how to enroll in classes, how to bid for different courses, the registration process. It was definitely a big learning point. So we definitely recommend students to really take advantage of the resources around them and talk to their advisors, talk to mentors and experts to really ensure that the process is smooth for them and they don't have any stones unturned. Yeah, so overall, it's very important for international students to thoroughly research the universities they're interested in, and then really get an accurate and up-to-date knowledge about these specific institutions tailored to their situation. You can get that information by doing research online, by talking to your counselor at school if you have one. And here at Crimson, we also have folks like myself, like Brad, and many other experienced counselors who've personally been through this journey themselves, have done it very successfully, and have many years experience advising others to do the same. With this network of mentors, we assist students around the world to gain access to some of these most elite universities in the United States, United Kingdom, and other countries across the world. That's all for today's discussion. Thank you, Brad, for joining the Crimson Ed Talks, and we'll see you again sometime soon.
Thanks, FC.